Do you want to learn how to draw? Well, you're in luck. I'll teach you. Incorrectly, but I'll teach you. So you're gonna want to start with the head, alright? Do a crosshair for the face and stuff. The vertical line could delineate, like, where your character's looking. For example, at the very, very side of the head if they're looking completely to the side. Or horizontal line, well, okay, most people don't use it this way, but I use it to dictate where, like, I start drawing the eyes. Maybe that is how it's used normally? Whatever. I don't really, like, fully get how to explain it. I'm drawing this at a 3/4 view, so there's gonna be a little dip where the eyes are. Or else it ends up looking like a bean. This is to give off Barbie doll vibes, as in, it's weirdly long, and also maybe a little too thin for someone to breathe comfortably through. I draw squares or circles to mark where the shoulders are, especially if I'm doing a 3/4 view, like this one. You see, it's generally concerning if someone is literally just a head and shoulders, so let's give them, you know, a body. I like to divide the torso into 2 separate sections when drawing those because, like, I don't think there's a way for me to understand all the anatomy involved without splitting it. There's probably someone in the audience that thinks that line in the center is vaguely sexual. It's not, it's just so I can mark where one leg is and the other leg isn't, I guess. And now for the legs. Nah, that's not long enough. There we go. This person is now 70% leg. The perfect ratio, as everyone knows. The lines I mark for the knees are, you know, just so I don't end up creating a character with ridiculously long thighs and ridiculously short calves. Okay, now we need to give them arms, because unless you didn't roll up your sleeves in woodchuck, you probably have arms, right? I draw the hand first because it's good for posing. Thank you, Lavender Town, for that. Once you have the hand drawn, just like connect it to the shoulder. Generally speaking, your wrist is about level with your crotch, so I use the crotch as like a way to measure how far down the arm should be when the arm is lying down straight. Plus, there's a struggle of hands. Sometimes they're actually pretty easy to draw, and sometimes they're not. Most of the time, I kind of just wing it and hope for the best, which is what I'm doing here. Is it fearful, who is the creature cruel? Am I a twisted, vicious dog and an angry fool? Oh, who bears her teeth without a smile? Who is this wrathful, mournful stray of a lonely child? Is it patience just a ruse for it to pounce when I can't just walk around on weird stumpy legs, so now it's time for the feet. Do square thingies for the heels. Then make a long rectangle to represent the toes, slightly wider than the heel. And use sloped lines to connect the 2 shapes like you're drawing a cube. When drawing faces, I start with the eyes because, I don't know, man, I guess it would be weird to start with anything else. I've always drawn eyes starting from the center corner, and the center corner rests on the horizontal line across the face. After doing the top of the eye, I just kind of let it, like, slope downwards into a weird parallelogram shape. Make sure to distort the eye that's on the far side of the face when you're drawing a 3/4 view, because that's how eyes work. I assure you I am going to add shines later, after I've done literally everything else. For people, it's really smart here because that's a good way to show that someone is freaked out. See, when you have an art style like mine, it's really easy to get away with, like, hollow people and stuff. Thank you, Lavender Town, for that. Fun fact about myself, when I was younger, I didn't believe in drawing eyebrows, but now I do, and so I try to make them all different to avoid the same face syndrome. The same goes for noses. This one has ski slopey, and this one is evidently not ski slopey. I'm not completely certain why drawing the hairline makes it easier to draw hair, but it does, so, like, do that and stuff. Hair is not that hard to draw, just, like, don't overcomplicate it, alright? Unless you're going for realism, there's no reason to, like, actually think about the fact that it's not one solid chunk. Plenty of people are gonna go, oh, that's bad art advice, and yeah, technically it is, but if you're going for more stylized, that kind of is just how hair behaves. Okay, they've been cured of baldness, and the last thing is their clothes. Clothes have, like, texture and stuff, so it's good to draw wrinkles because your characters are not wearing latex, right? The general rule for my line art is thin. Thin as a heroin chic model. Seriously, it's 1 pixel wide. A long time ago, I decided that every time I color, I should have a clipping mask, which is 90% just this.
I'm stuck, give me a tug. I spent far too much of my career pulling you out of ducting. 3 PhDs for this jazz?
It's always so satisfying, like, to bucket it and fill in the clipping. Once you have the mask done, you make another layer and have it clipped into the previous one. You can see the difference, right? I don't really want to leave them, without blush. So, yeah, blush. First, do, like, some reddish color on the cheeks. Make sure it's on a different layer. And don't just do the cheeks, alright? Fingertips, clavicles, joints, yeah. Now you have to lasso around the parts that you applied blush to. The lassoing is very, very important. Then use the blur. The smudge, like, kinda sucks and stuff, so blur is a safer bet. And it should look something like this. Now repeat. Here's how it looks different. People don't blush that hard, so you're gonna want to turn down the opacity. In regards to shading and the blush, just like make sure to put the shading layer underneath the blush layer, right? The color you use to shade the shadows for skin should be darker and redder, alright? A small exception can be made if you want to make like a dark mood, but generally speaking, yeah, darker and redder. Shading like necks and stuff is pretty easy, just make sure to make it thicker in the middle. Okay, shading's done. It's time for the background. Wait a minute. The background, right? I used to use drawing software that wouldn't let you have more than 3 layers, which is why I collapsed all of mine. I told you I'd shape the eyes eventually. Make a layer above all the other layers and turn down the opacity. Then get a warm or cold spray, whichever you like, and just shade the eyes like that. Then make one last layer, I swear this is the last one, keep it at full opacity, and sprinkle in some white. Wait a minute. Yeah, that works. This is the finished product. And I 100% not forgotten anything. Highlight layer, purplish color on the character, turn down the opacity, and boom, you have an easy lighting trick. The cross-hatching is technically unnecessary, but it adds grunge, and sometimes you like a little bit of grunge. Okay, now it's complete, and you know how to draw like you can.